Okay, here we go. All right, this is a special common council meeting to be held Thursday, April 18th, 2024 at 6 p.m. The meeting is called to order. Would you please call the roll?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Present.
Alderperson Bailey.
Present.
Alderperson Kastner.
Present.
Alderperson Akers.
Present.
Alderperson Sarian.
Present.
Item B, old business. B1, election of council president for a one-year term.
Mayor, I'd like to nominate Mr. Bruce Bailey.
I didn't hear that.
Me or him?
You both talked concurrently. Alderperson Kastner, I heard first. Yes.
I would like to nominate the Honorable Bruce Bailey.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. There's a nomination's been made and seconded. Would you call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
No.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-1. Congratulations. Item C,
Places, right?
you don't have.
Did you guys
Item
wanna switch
C1,
tonight?
under new business, discussion and possible adoption of an ordinance regarding creating section 13.03, parent 18, relating to alcohol licensing. Mr. City Attorney.
Okay, thank you, everybody. So thanks for meeting with again tonight. We met on Tuesday evening, and there was a lot of concern expressed by the council regarding kind of the number and the novelty of the liquor license applications that the city's been receiving recently. And there was a sense that we wanted to try to get a handle of what's going on and get a plan in place to make sure that something appropriate for Greenfield is in place going forward. So what I came up with here, and I think the best way to tackle that is basically a temporary moratorium on the issuance of most new liquor licenses, or alcohol licenses, I should say. It would be for 90 days maximum, and it would actually be shorter than that if we're able to close it out before that period of time. It would carve out renewals of existing licenses, so if there's a business that's already been issued a license, they can come and renew come the end of June. That's when all licenses come up. So they could renew their license and keep going. It carves out picnic licenses, so your temporary licenses at the time of year, we're coming up to the summer, right? And it would also carve out restaurants with capacity of 50 folks or more, 50 seats or more. The reason I'm recommending that we proceed by way of a temporary moratorium in lieu of trying to jump into a different approach is that as I looked into it a little bit, one of the concepts that had been discussed was the idea of separating out different categories of businesses that would be licensed from other businesses. There's some case law that supported that. There's some case law that kind of calls that into question. So I thought as we went through this line, it'd be a good idea to slow things down a little bit, make sure that we get all our ducks in a row in terms of what's allowable and what's not, and then also kind of anticipate maybe the unintended consequences that could come up from sort of the nuances of licensing law. Some of the things are not necessarily intuitive, and I hate to see a situation where we put some policy in place and then, within a couple weeks, we got to back it out right away because there's a scenario that comes up that we weren't contemplating. So I think if we build ourselves a little time here to study this, come up with a game plan that makes sense for the city, get that in place, lift the moratorium. If we can do it sooner than 90 days, so much the better, and then go from there. So that's what I'm proposing.
I concur. I mean, we've had a discussion today about some of this and some of the pending things, and I'll start, right? And I think this is the best way to make sure that we take the pragmatic, well thought out approach to try to get these issues resolved. I have every time, and forgive me for my ignorance when it comes to liquor licensing, I couldn't tell you what the difference between an A and a B and a B in a restaurant is versus a B or an A in a gas station. We need to get those things all vetted out to make sure that we're doing what we want
What's
to.
even crazier to understand is what type of liquor license do you need to have for gaming machines?
There's
I
a
don't know
gaming
anyone that
component.
knows an answer to that.
There's that, right? I mean, there's all of those
There's an
things, and
answer.
I quite frankly don't know the answer to that, and
Yeah, that's where it gets a little bit complicated because it generally Class B licenses or Class B or Class B. That's one of the, I mean, they could have chosen a million different names to go with, but instead they chose Class B or Class B to differentiate between liquor and beer. I have no idea what the legislature does, what they do, but in practice, in order to get the lower potential criminal sanction that some people are looking for from the gaming machines, you need to have a Class B license. And again, that's another issue I think that the city can look at. Is that something that you guys want to factor into how you license things going forward and whatnot?
Why
Technically,
do I
gaming
see them
machines are
in
still
gas
illegal.
stations that just have alcohol?
What's that?
Why do I see gaming machines in gas stations that just have alcohol?
They may
I
have.
mean, no, just beer sales.
Yeah, you need to have a Class B license. You can have, I shouldn't say you can have them. You can't have them, period. Gaming machines are not legal in Wisconsin.
No matter who has them, I gathered that.
Correct,
Unless-
but
well-
there's different gradients of punishment depending on whether you have a license or not. So some retailers want to have a Class B beer license or liquor license just for the purpose of getting potentially a lower sanction from the gaming machines if they were to get in trouble.
Up to 5 or something.
Yeah, yep. So it's really complicated. Liquor licensing is complicated on its own, but then you throw in the interplay of that and the gaming machine issues and some of the other issues that come into play, and it gets complicated.
And who controls the gaming machines?
One person in the entire state.
It's the Department of Revenue's got to enforce it directly. Municipalities can't enforce it. It's a very strange statute. I mean,
Yeah, that's strange. With this, though, with the moratorium and examining it, I'm assuming that legislative is going to be working on it, or is it going to be at the council level?
It would be at legislative would be ideal. That's where, I think,
I was expecting.
we got time.
over the course of 90 days, this is the other situation that we had here tonight, trying to rush through some sort of ordinance that hasn't been thoroughly vetted and given the attention that it needs. I mean, there's, arguably the reason for some expeditiousness, but this gives us the time to thoroughly vet it at the legislative committee. So
We done, do I make a motion to adopt?
Unless anyone has any questions, I think.
Yeah, no, then I'll make a motion to adopt the ordinance presented.
motion by Alderperson
Second.
Drzewiecki to adopt, second by Alderperson Akers. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
With that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn at 6:07.
Motion to adjourn.
By Alderperson Akers, or second?
Second.
Second. By Alderperson Drzewiecki, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.